Do you have problems to sleep? Have you ever been awake and really scared by a noise? And that noise is your mind telling you that you didn't send an email or that you still need time to comply with everything that you are supposed to do during the day, or you forgot a meeting that it's going to be early in the next morning. So, what is happening with our sleep when it breaks down? And usually there is a witching hour that many people wakes up, and it's not just by default. It's something that happens because we are stressed. We are pressing the alarm button, and you are supposed to be peaceful. You did your ritual as every day, but something happens with your mind that is racing and racing, and you can't stop it. So today we are going to solve the mystery of this witching hour. We are going to cover the three hidden reasons why your body pulls the emergency brake in the middle of the night, ranging from your hormones to ancient Chinese medicine. And we are going to review why your organs have each of them a perfectly synchronized clock. And I'm going to give you also, if you stay until the end, three tools to fix your nights and to really give you a peaceful sleep and restful repair. So let's go with the first idea that we are going to cover. And remember, we are going to see and we're going to discover why you wake up anxious at 3 a.m. And I'm going to give you the strategies on how to fix it. So let's go with the first idea. What happens? Well, first, you are in the middle of the night. You are peaceful, and at 3 a.m., there is a wake up call. So we have to look at the chemistry lab running inside your veins to understand what is going to happen. Normally, your body flows in a rhythm. But what happens with that rhythm? In the evening, a hormone that is called melatonin rises to make you sleepy. It's supposed to stay high through the night. Conversely, cortisol, your stress hormone and your energy hormone, should be at rock bottom while you sleep, only rising around 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. to wake you up. But for many of us, modern life has flipped the switch because the chronic stress or the blood sugar crashes and your brain perceives a threat in the middle of the night and it thinks we are running out of fuel. So there is a danger, and you enter into this sympathetic nervous mode, and it releases a spike of cortisol hours too early, 3 to be exact. So this cortisol surge suppresses your melatonin. So that is what happens. It's a game of hormones. One that is supposed to last and not wake you up until 6 or 7 a.m., and the other one that it's supposed to be rising while you are entering into the evening. So this change physically jolts you out of the deep sleep into a state of high alert. And this anxiety that you are feeling, that is not just the worry of your thoughts. That is not this rumination that you are happening. That is also a chemical reaction that your body is translating into the response of fight or flight. So the sympathetic nervous system mode while you are lying in your pajamas. So what is going to happen now? Well, what we can see in the image, we are supposed to be restful, but something in our mind is waking up and is releasing these spikes of cortisol, and also your blood sugar is increasing. So everything at once is happening, and your body has to translate that. Next, what happens next? Well, now let's move from the Western biochemistry to the ancient wisdom of the traditional Chinese medicine. So TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, views the body as a 24-hour clock where energy, or your qi, that is spelled QI, moves through specific organs at 2-hour intervals. So every organ has a specific time where it's going to be in repair mode, where it's going to perform task of detoxification, and it's going to clean the organ, and it's going to be synchronized with the other ones. So if you are waking up specifically between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., that means that you are in the liver time. The liver is the organ that um, performs 300 biochemical reactions. So it's the most important organ for all of the anabolic and catabolic reactions that are happening in our body, and is responsible for detoxifying your blood. But emotionally, what is the meaning of the liver? It is the house of anger, frustration, and resentment. So if you wake up at 3 a.m., probably there is an issue with any of these three emotions: anger, frustration, or resentment. If you wake up here, your body might be trying to process the toxins from that glass of wine, or the toxic frustration from that meeting you had yesterday. So if you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., then you have moved into the lung time. The lungs govern your breath and the immune system, but they are associated with the emotion of grief and sadness. So if you wake up between 3 and 5 a.m., this means that at the subconscious level, there is a struggle with letting go of something, or processing a loss. A loss can be from a material thing, from something in your job, maybe in the nearby past, someone died, and you are still processing that grief. So it has to do with these two emotions, grief and sadness. And your body is literally taking the night shift to clean the house. And if there is too much emotional or physical trash, what is happening? Then the janitors, as it is represented in this image, are really stressed and they don't have time. They will have to rush through the time and make it compact, but making it compact in terms of the biochemistry that is happening and the detoxification means that they are not going to perform a good job in the organ that was required. So remember, each of your organs has a clock, and they have more or less the 2-hour interval to be cleaned, to be repaired, to have these processes. And if something happens between the hours that you wake up, you will look for the hours of this organ, and you will understand what kind of emotions are associated with that and what you can do. And I will tell you at the end that we are almost there, is a protocol that you can implement. So this trash, this cleaning process has to be performed, and they need those 2 hours. Your body is only asking, and your organs are only asking for this time of the night so that you can be peaceful. Well, let's arrive to the final idea. So there is a reason why 3 a.m. for most people feels so existential. In various spiritual traditions and even in modern psychology, the hours between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. are considered Vata time. In Ayurveda, it's a science that studies the body in terms of the ancient wisdom of India. So this is an element, Vata, of air and ether. It is light, it is subtle, and it is mobile. So during the day, your brain is noisy, but at 3 a.m., the sensory noise of the world is dead silent. Usually, because if you live in a city that is crowded and that is noisy, well, at 3 a.m., probably there is not, it is not so silent. So let's suppose that you are in a space where there is silence at this 3 a.m. hour. So your neurochemistry is supposed to be quiet. And this creates a thinning of the veil. So between your conscious mind and your subconscious, which is your spirit, something happens. Thoughts you can suppress at noon bubble to the surface at 3 a.m. because there are no distractions to hold them back. You aren't just waking up, you are entering a space of high clarity where your soul or the subconscious is trying to get a word in edgewise. So the anxiety comes because the ego is resisting with what it hears in the silence. So this is very, very interesting because this is where science meets with spirituality. So there is an explanation for everything. And many, many times when this subconscious process, when we have problems during the day, at these hours of the night where our soul can speak clearly and you have high clarity, that's when it communicates probably solutions, probably you finally can let go of something, but that means that your brain is going to wake you up. If it happens once in a while, it's okay. It's just your soul speaking. But if it happens regularly, maybe it doesn't have to do with your soul talking. It is the stress and it is the biochemistry and it is the science that I explained before. So, what are the strategies? We have come to the end of this episode and let me give you the strategies. The first one, so that your 3 a.m. alarm doesn't sound, let's do it. The first one is sunlight before screen light. You have to reset your master clock, which is in the suprachiasmatic region of your brain. So your body needs to know when morning actually is so. And it stops releasing cortisol at 3 a.m. So the most effective way to do this is to be on morning sunlight for 20 or for 30 minutes immediately after waking up. And according to the newest research, you almost have 1 hour to catch up with the sunlight. So this signals your brain to start the timer for melatonin release 12 to 14 hours later. That's why you need to watch this sunlight because it will give you the time frame so that at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., you will have the melatonin rising and helping you to stay asleep through the night. If you wake up at 3 a.m., do not look out at your phone. The last thing that you have to do is activate your system with these blue lights. The blue light tells your brain that it's noon, that you have to wake up and you need to activate yourself and your whole body. Tip number 2, the liver detox and how to wind it down. Since 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. is the liver time, you need to clear the trash. And that means to be really, really in a different state physically. This means finishing your last meal 3 hours before you go to bed so that your body isn't digesting while it should be detoxing. And emotionally, try a brain dump journal exercise. Start writing down the emotions, the things that happen during the day that probably are going to wake you up. Remember, there's nothing you can do at that hour. So just download the thoughts, understand the emotions that you are having, and write down your frustrations from the day to release that anger so your liver doesn't have to process it for you while you are sleeping. And the final tip, use non sleep deep rest or NSDR. If you do wake up, do not fight it. Fighting creates cortisol. Instead, try a practice that is called NSDR or Yoga Nidra. And this is a guided relaxation that keeps you awake but shifts your brain waves into a deep restorative state. It replenishes dopamine and reduces cortisol more effectively than caffeine, helping you drift back off or at least rest your body without the anxiety. So just use a short meditation, use solfeggio frequencies, use some calm nature sound so that you can arrive to this state and so that you can just relax and probably, hopefully, fall asleep again and recover. So you are not broken. Nothing is happening. It's just understanding the science, the biochemistry, and also the spirituality and the emotional messages that we have, let's say, promoted or we have deal with during the day. So I hope that this episode brings you peace and gives you wisdom to understand your body and how each of our organs has a clock. And this whole episode is the circadian science of our body and of the spirit as well, because we talk about the spirit. So if you like the episode, please give me a review, give me a like, share a comment if something is happening between other kind of hours, and I will let you know what kind of organ you are dealing with and what kind of emotions you are dealing with. And visit also my website so that you can subscribe in the different platforms and you can know about the programs that I'm launching. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful, almost weekend. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye.